Hello, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is how to value yourself. This is a very interesting topic because it's going to help you in every avenue of your life, whether this is in your professional life. You know me, I like to write everything down, and I hope you are also professional, whether it's personal, or whether it's just around wherever you are, but mainly in your professional and personal life. Okay, so this topic is important because as long as you know your self-worth, it will catapult you to get to where you want to go, regardless of what it is, whether it's a healthy relationship, whether it is a very progressive and healthy interesting career. You have to know your worth for you to know which step to take. So let's define what is value. What do you see is value as a human being? Oh, let's start again here. So what do we consider as value? So as a person, value, when you say that I know myself, I need to value myself, what are we talking about? So we are talking of aspects like self-worth. Some call it self-esteem. So when we talk of self-worth, what do we mean? This self-worth we're talking about is not external. So let's clarify that, for example, already before we go any further. We are not talking of external validation of self-worth. Do you know the certain people that even if, let's say, they're in the house, they've done all the makeup, let's say you're a girl or lady, woman, whatever you want to call it, you've done all your makeup, you're feeling fine, you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, today, I'm looking good. You're feeling it. However, for you to actually have to feel that 100% of self-value, you still feel like when I go outside, I need to see what are they going to be saying today when they see this hair, when they see this makeup and these eyebrows, what are they going to say? Until if somebody doesn't comment, you start to see that person getting withdrawn, starting to feel irritable, or maybe starting to feel low. You wonder, what's wrong with this lady? What's wrong? Because these are people that feel like they don't feel good enough as they are. I'm not saying there's something wrong in putting makeup. Of course, me, look at my face, I've got it. But I'm not putting it for other people to comment to say, you're looking good today. No, I'm putting it for myself because I feel good. I feel good when I have it because that's how I am. I feel good. But I'm not expecting that when I go outside, I need someone to say to me, oh, my goodness, you're looking so fly, you're looking so good. Oh my good. No. That is validation from the outside. I still feel good even if somebody doesn't say anything to me about it. And I still feel good if somebody says something. But it doesn't define who I am. I am not emotionally attached to people's feelings, comments, or attitude towards me. It does not elevate me and it doesn't degrade me as a person because I'm already good enough. I already feel good enough within me. So I do not need any external validation from someone for me to feel like, yes, I've made it. Oh, yes, I'm here. Yes, I've arrived. No, I don't need it. So this is the self-worth. I have internal self-worth. So, and I do hope this is what we're trying to teach people today, to have that internal self-validation that you don't need any outside influences. Okay, so now that we've clarified what is self, let's continue to explore this a little bit more. So self-worth. We have to clean it very well, but some of this are not okay. Let's use green. So let's write again self-worth. So this is how, this is very important, this word here. Why is it important? Because it's about you. So when we're talking about valuing yourself, it's about you. So it starts from you, yourself, from yourself. So self-worth is how you are feeling and how you see yourself from the inside out. Okay, so what do we mean by that? So what we mean is, for you to be able to value yourself, you need to have known that you are good enough already. You need to be seeing it yourself with eyes of compassion from within. You have already accepted who you are, and you have a good image about you that you don't need somebody else to come and tell you that, oh my goodness, you look good, or oh my goodness, you're very, very intelligent, or oh my god, you're so smart, or if it wasn't because of you, we couldn't. Yes, so you, that external validation or comments, whether they are positive, whether they are negative, they do not faze you, they do not elevate you, they do not make you feel bad. So in other words, whether the comments are there or not, they do not affect you, because yourself, you know who you are, you accept yourself as who you are. So whatever, anything else which is outside, that's why I put this, outside of yourself, does not affect you, whether it's positive or negative. So there's certain people, like if you watch television, different kind of shows, as a society, there's certain bodies that, the society is projected to the whole world and said, well, for a woman to look, for us to say this woman looks beautiful, maybe she has to be a certain weight, a certain height, a certain color tone, certain kind of hair. There's like a beauty that has been projected to the world out there, right? That people aspire to be. Some will go to the gym 27 days per week. Some have stopped eating this and that because they are aspiring to look like that, because that's what society is defined as beauty. And for men, some men, we are told that you need to be bulking up all these muscles, clean shaven, maybe the hair has to be a certain bob. There's trends that are always going on social media, which is putting a lot of pressure on people, because people are aspiring to look like what the society is saying is good, right? I'm sure it's human nature. But at the same time, have you also seen that there's certain people that are not fazed by all this? Why, what am I saying? You might go certain places, you might even just switch on the television. Like I'm talking about the trend of people who are supposed to be so skinny and feminine looking, and because that's what the society has said, this is beautiful. But then you might see a person maybe on a program, on a show, on, I don't know, something on social media or even on mainstream media, and they look exactly the opposite of what the society is perceiving that this is beauty. But that person is confident, is vocal, is intelligent. She'll come up with all these aspects of things that, she's up there, and she is oozing of confidence of who she is. Because why? Because she is here. She has internalized her self-worth. She knows that me, even if I'm as massive or as opposite as what the trend wants me to look like, it doesn't bother me, because she doesn't even look at it that way anyway. She doesn't even feel that way anyway, because she's confident with who she is, where she is, because she loves herself regardless of how the world look at her. So this is a person who knows, and they have self-validation. It's very important, if you're a human being, to have that self-validation, because nothing will faze you. Why? Because It's not even about looks, what I'm talking about. This transcends from professional. It can even just be a report, a project that you are trying to present to board members, for example. You know you've given it 300,000%. You know yourself, you did all the work, and you know yourself that this is the best, and you know you're very smart, you're intelligent. You go and you present it there in a meeting, and you've got 1, 2, or 3 people who are trying to pull you down, saying, well, maybe you should have done it this way, or maybe we do not really agree. There is what is called constructive criticism, and then there's just some people who are just out there to try to be look at me, I'm better than the other person, or trying to pull others down like crabs in a bucket. We know we all met people like that everywhere around the world. But if you know yourself, this is why you need to have self-validation, because that is not going to touch you. That's criticism from somebody that you know is not constructive. Actually, someone is trying to compete with you. It's not going to touch you. Rather, you know your worth, so you're actually going to stand up and explain your project even further, even in more detail, because you know who you are and what you're bringing to that table for the board meetings. So what I'm saying is, if you value yourself, nobody is going to ever come and try to destroy you, because you're already above any comments, above any negativities in the world. Because guess what? The moment before you even come out of bed, because now these days, because of the phones and social media and everything, before you even come out of the bed, somebody is already trying to pull you down, because that's how human nature works. But if you know your worth and your self-value, nothing is going to touch you. Actually, you could use negativity to try to transmute it. This is a very, very important word. Write it down. Transmute. What do we mean? When somebody is bringing you negativity, you can take that negativity, change it, and use it as fuel. Use it as fuel, actually, to help you to get to where you want to be. So when you see somebody coming to try to destroy you in anyhow, even if you know you've got self-worth, because it doesn't touch you anyway, but you can actually use that as a way to say, okay, so and so is trying to do this, that's fine, I know what I can bring to the table, but actually use it as fuel. Now bring another project, bring a second project. Instead of you even just sitting on one project, bring a second project that actually this will be the following week, because you can transmute any energy. Is something that you can never be destroyed, but it can be changed, isn't it, in different forms. So transmute it and use it as energy, as a source of fuel for your next project. You know why? Because you know your self-worth. You do not need any approval from anyone for you to feel successful. You don't need any approval from anyone for you to feel beautiful. You do not need any approval from anyone to feel like you can do things, because you have cultivated self-worth within you all this while. Nothing is going to touch you which is negative. Even if, let's say, it's a job, you would come there and then you said, you know what? Let's use some practical examples here. You could say to yourself, okay, I've got this master's degree in marketing or sales or in accountancy. I've been working for this company for so long. I feel like, because I know myself, I have got a lot of experience. I have helped this company to go from A to B, right? It's my turn now to get a promotion. Why? Because I feel like I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I've got the experience. I have got the qualification, and I know I can do this job. And if you feel like this company, this place is not giving you that, do not be afraid to detach yourself from places that are not helping you to elevate you to get to where you are. This is why you need to have self-worth, because if you know what you're worth, and you know your value as a human being, as a worker, wherever you're working or whatever you're doing in any aspect of your life, if you know your value, you would not stay in places that you feel like it's not helping you to develop. Because you've internally elevated yourself, it's within, you know what you're worth, and you are not afraid to move forward to get to where you want to be, even if it means that it's going to make you to live where you are at the moment. If it's a job, to get to somewhere else where you feel like you're going to be shown this worth here by getting the job and the promotion that you deserve, then because you already have self-worth, you don't hesitate to move, and you move very, very quickly. So you see, valuing yourself is very important, not only in your personal relationships, but also in your professional relationship. Because in your professional life, you can be the most educated in your team. But if people are not seeing your self-worth, and you yourself, you are not really seeing what you can bring, because you don't have self-value, you can undermine your progress. You can undermine what you could have been in this lifetime, and even sometimes miss out on your purpose because you don't believe in yourself. And when you don't believe in yourself that you are valuable as a human being, it's going to not help you to get to where you want to get. So having self-worth is very, very important. So having self-worth is very, very important. It's going to help you to get places that you never thought you will get. Okay, so how else are we going to be able to value ourselves? How else can we do this? Simply enough, you can set boundaries with place. Let's write it. Set boundaries. So setting boundaries with PPT. And then you'll be asking, what is PPT? People, places, and things that are no longer serving you. That lowers your value. So setting boundaries with people is one of the main things, and usually sometimes people and places kind of interchange, or they're entwined together, because with people they'll be in places that you, even in the end, you realize that these two things are actually lowering your frequency and vibration. What most people are not aware of is, for you to manifest anything in this lifetime, you need, so think about it, manifestation, that means it's something that is up there that you're aiming for. So you're looking up. It's not like you're aiming for it. You're looking up to say, okay, I'm one day or 1 year from now, I want to be there. I'm going up the ladder. This is why people talk about up the ladder. So you're aiming something which is higher than where you are at the moment, right? So if you're aiming something which is higher than where you are, that means you are trying to go this way. We're not fighting to go down. You don't even have to fight. Going down is so easy. You just go down. But we're aiming something to go up, right? So visualize this. Okay, so I'm aiming to go up higher. So for me to be able to go up in anything that I'm trying to do, whether it's, usually I talk about business, I talk about career, because we're motivating each other here to try to be better than where we were last year. And mainly it's either you're going to do that through business, or you're going to go through that by getting a promotion where you work, right? So if you're going to be trying to manifest that is something that is already more than what you have, right? How do we do this? By aiming higher, we have to be in a certain frequency, right, to be able to reach that goal. So for you to be in a higher vibration and frequency, You need to be in a right frame of mind. Remember, the mind, everything manifests straight from the mind. It's a mindset first before it manifests in the physical, right? So if it's in the mind, then we need clarity. That mind needs to be clear. And you have to have that belief, obviously, from within you to say, I can do this, right? But you need a conducive environment that can help you to foster that into reality. How do we do that? If you spend time with people who are toxic and in a place that is draining you mentally, then trust me, it will be difficult to feel this way. If you're going to be surrounding your work in a workplace where people that you're working with are very, very negative, no one believes in anything that's positive that is ever going to come through, or people are constantly gossiping, talking bad things and not helping each other, always backstabbing each other, it's a very toxic environment. So these people in that, it's in the same place. So people and places go hand to hand. It's very rare to go somewhere where it's just you, then it's not toxic, then it's you, the problem could be you. But in this case, we're talking of people and places together. So these people will be having negative energy that is going to be lowering your frequency, in the sense that if it lowers your frequency and vibration, even you're going to start to doubt yourself, because to cultivate a mindset of value and self-worth, you also need to be in an environment that is healthy, right? So if you're not in a healthy environment, your energy is mainly going to be spent either trying to defend yourself from this type of toxic people, or trying to make too much boundary in yours, that in the end, we are social beings. And sometimes in workplaces, we actually need each other so that we can use different skills for a project, for example. But if you feel, can you imagine if you're in an environment where people are very toxic, people are trying to pull each other down, there's a lot of backstabbing, it's going to be very difficult for people even just to come together as a group in a meeting to try to do team bonding, or even to try to bring a project that is worthwhile, that you're actually going to do teamwork together, because there's internal fighting and conflict that is going to make people to be focusing now too much on negativity, which is going to lower the value of what you're trying to achieve, and also personal value, your own self-worth. Because if people are just going to be giving you negative from left, right, and center, even yourself, if you are not strong enough and you have not cultivated self-worth internally, this external conflict is going to affect you, because it's going to play on your mental health. And when it plays on your mental health, you're going to see that your energy levels are going to be very, very low. And when your energy levels are very low, it's going to be very difficult for you to manifest your dreams and the things that you are wanting to manifest in this lifetime, because the people and the place where you are is not a healthy environment that is going to help you to foster self-love, self-worth. Because for you to feel self-worth, you also need to be somewhere where it's a happy environment. Let's be honest. You cannot be in a place where people will just be constantly bouncing off negativities to you. It will make you to be burnt out. And when you're burnt out, even that feeling of value, you will start even to doubt yourself. So avoid people and places that are going to bring you negativity, that is going to lower your frequency and vibration, which in turn will lower your self-worth and your value. And some things as well are toxic. Sometimes you could actually be working somewhere where people are good. You could be in a relationship where people are okay, and the place where you live is not bad. However, maybe you've got toxic traits that is keeping you lowered. It's keeping you feeling low. Because why? let's say you've got like these substances that is, I feel like it's not talked enough. Substances. This is a topic which is, maybe some people might say it's, I don't know, but I feel like it's important to note that you can, this is self-destruction. This, so you can actually be, for example, a barrister, someone very respectable in the community, right? And you've got everything else going on for you, but you could be having some toxic, some habits that are not actually positive, that are not going to help you in the long run. And these habits, in the end, is going to lower your value, because let's make it visual. Alcohol and this. If you're constantly doing these activities to an extreme that is not healthy, it's going to manifest in the end. It can give you mental health problems. I'm talking of things like depression. That's why I said this is not talked enough, because some of these substances do contain chemicals that, because this is why when people are taking it, you're on the high. When you're on the high, you're on the high, you're on the high. And then you go to bed, or maybe after a while, you start from there, and then before you know it, you're on there. So most of the time, you become depression. Sometimes it's caused by these two things, because now when you're on the low, it's messing with your chemical balance. So it actually gives you chemical imbalance. And when you're now on the low, you start to feel depressed. What is it doing to you as a human being? It's lowering your frequency and vibration, which is lowering your self-worth and value. Because now you're starting to feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, or something is wrong. Why am I feeling this way? So it's taking away all the happiness from your life, because it's that's what it does. It's destructive to your life. And once it's destructive to your life, it's lowering you as a human being. And then you will now start to feel like you don't have self-worth, you have no self-value. So even if now you go back to all these other things that were positive in your life, it's being taken away by toxic habits. So people, places, and things, be careful of them. And if you feel like these three things, PPT, this is what I call it, is stopping you to have self-worth, is limiting your self-value, get rid of it. Do not hesitate to create boundaries with people, places, and remove things from your life that is draining your energy, that is draining your time, that is causing your mental health, because this is energy. It can never be destroyed, right? So you need it always to be as floating as high as possible. And time is a limited resource that we need all the time for us to keep on being on top of everything that we want to do. And having very good mental health is good for you, because it helps you to manifest what you want in this life. If you're calm, if you're composed, and if you're also knowing who you are and you appreciate who you are, so that no toxic person is going to come and try to destroy you internally, because you're already strong. So these things, if they're on the negative, get rid of them. Get rid of them. There's no one that you're trying to please in this lifetime except yourself. So if you know that I am number one, I'm here to please myself first before I can do anything else in this lifetime, then you should always be aware of your environment, aware of the people that you spend time with, and aware of the activities that you do. Always ask yourself, is this thing good for me? Is this thing actually, is this place as well making me to, is it valuing me? Is it giving more value? Is it making me to feel like I'm a valuable person? Or is this thing that I'm engaging in, is it good for me mentally, emotionally, physically, and even, for my good health? Is it good for me? If you feel like PPT is coming between you and your self-value, do not hesitate to strike it out and start again. You can always find good friends at some point. You can, sometimes you're so busy in your life. I will tell you one thing, right? I know some people that I used to know, like workmates years ago, and some of them decided that, well, they wanted to leave the profession because of one or two things. They want to go and do things that they feel like it's important for them, is their purpose. And at first their worry was like, oh, I'm going to miss everyone. I'm going to start afresh. I'm going to go and start a new life. But 2 years down the line, we saw these people, some of them went and became like fitness coaches, fitness instructors. They actually fostered a new community of positive people that they have things in common with. Not only did they foster a new community, and they also were relating very well with these people because they all had one goal. They wanted to be healthy. They also wanted to look good. So they actually had more in common with this. There was no backstabbing of trying to be healthy. Come on, who goes to the gym to go and backstab somebody? So they cultivate a very good relationship between them and these people that they were helping, this purpose. So they're actually happier now, but they had to get rid of the people that they were with, the workmates that they were with at that place where they were working before. They had to leave that place, that profession, and the things that they were doing, maybe accounting, that they were not enjoying at that moment, and they decided that I am going to be a fitness guru and this is what I want to do. And right now, 2 years, 5 years later, these people are thriving. These people are happy. They're saying, oh my goodness, they cannot wait to jump out of bed every day to go and do their purpose, what they found. So you will never know that sometimes it's actually getting rid of people, places, and things that is bringing you down, is actually going to help you to foster self-value, self-worth. Because you, sometimes it's the place that you are not happy, that is lowering your vibration. So you're constantly walking like this, you're not feeling happy, so you don't feel good within. Or is the people that you're spending time with, they're toxic, they're negative. Get rid of them and you will see that your life is going to change completely. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching today. And I hope you're going to apply this in your life, and you're going to come back here, put in the comments to say, actually, since I got rid of people and left that place that I was working and stopped the things that I was doing, now I don't even recognize myself. I am a new human being. I am a new individual. Why? Because now I feel self-worth. I found a purpose that I came here to do that is making me happy. I've got this new job that I'm doing and it's amazing. And I love the environment. I love the people. And I am so valuable and I feel so good. And thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, and see you on the next one. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you.